Let's speak about unity. An example, the following paragraph has no unity. The highlighted sentences are not related to the controlling idea. Let's read it. The two brothers were quite different. Bob was tall, fair and slim. John was short, dark and fat. Bob was like his mother and John was like his father. Bob was never happier than when he had something practical to do. John, on the other hand, was clumsy when using his hands. Their sister Mary was also clumsy with her hands. Bob rarely spoke to other people unless he was spoken to first. But John was always the center of a group, talking and chattering as if his life depended on it. I'm sure you have friends like this. In fact, they were so different that it was hard to believe they were brothers. This paragraph is good at many levels, but it has a problem of unity. How is it good? First, its format. It has an indentation on the first line. It has no title. This is a negative point. The two brothers were quite different. If we look at the content of this sentence, we notice that it covers all the discussion. It is about the differences between two brothers. We expect that the whole discussion will be about the differences. So the role of the topic sentence is to create an expectation in the mind of the reader. All the content of the paragraph should not go beyond this expectation. All the discussion should be about the differences. The paragraph is developed because it contains a sufficient amount of details. But there is a problem of unity, because when we read the support sentences, we'll notice that some of them are not about the differences between the brothers. Let's read together. Bob was tall, fair and slim. John was short, dark and fat. Relevant. Bob was like his mother and John was like his father. Relevant. Bob was never happier than when he had something practical to do. John, on the other hand, was clumsy when using his hands. Relevant. All of them are relevant because they discuss the differences between the two brothers. Their sister Mary was also clumsy with her hands. This sentence is not about the differences between the two brothers. It is irrelevant. Bob rarely spoke to other people unless he was spoken to first, but John was always the center of a group, talking and chattering as if his life depended on it. This is relevant. I'm sure you have friends like this. This is irrelevant because it does not add any detail about the differences. Finally, in fact, they were so different that it was hard to believe they were brothers. This sentence does not add any further detail, but it is connected to the discussion. It concludes the whole discussion. It restates, it says again that there are differences between the two brothers, but in different words. Development. Paragraph development means providing sufficient details in the sentences which follow the topic sentence, the supporting sentences. Depending on the purpose, paragraphs can be developed by using different methods. They are called the patterns of development or the methods of development. There are four main patterns of development: description, narration, exposition, and argumentation. Exposition is the largest. It includes several types: process, classification, analysis of causes or effects, definition, comparison or contrast, examples, or analogy. Coherence is the third feature of a good paragraph. Coherence means the smooth connection of ideas in a paragraph. It is created in writing through the use of two strategies: cohesive devices or logical order. In fact, coherence is a relationship between meanings, the meanings which are expressed in the sentences. When we move on from one meaning to another, from one idea to the other, this movement should be smooth. So coherence means the glue that exists between the sentences. The sentences or the ideas which are expressed in them should not appear in a scattered way. It should be easy for the reader to move from one idea to the other. The two strategies of creating coherence in writing are different from each other. The first one, which is cohesive, the use of cohesive devices, depends on some grammatical tools and lexical tools also. But the second one, which is the use of logical order, depends only on the meanings themselves.